Hi, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. So today's tip is to be ready to feed your neighbor. And here is my theory. There are, so Europe is telling all of their citizens they need to have 72 hours worth of food. Um, you know, all of the other countries are preparing, Canada, and, when everybody else is preparing, you should be prepared too. But um, all that said, if we continue to have supply chain interruptions, and if we continue to have food prices going up and everything, you can be super prepared and ready to feed yourself. But the thing is that if somebody comes in and takes your food, you don't have it. So be prepared to share, because the thing is that if you share with the right people, they will help defend your food. um so that helps. In addition, not everybody knows how to be frugal. Most of my subscribers are not new to frugality. I read all of your comments. Sometimes I don't read them right away. Sometimes they get hidden in like the algorithm somewhere, and like if I haven't responded to one of your comments at this point, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because occasionally they get like lost in like a random spot, and I'll like search in the old comments for something, and it'll like pop up. I don't know if it's a problem with YouTube or what, but I read them all, I respond to them all. I really do like to engage, and most of the people who've commented are frugal. They're already frugal. They're already doing a lot of frugal things. However, I do see a lot of people out there in the world, in the real world, when I go out, and they're not frugal, and they don't know how to be frugal. So when hard times hit, they're not going to be prepared. They're not going to be frugal. They're not going to know how to sacrifice. It's going to be a whole new world for them. Versus some of us have had to sacrifice because of life situations, whether it be that we lost jobs, we were single moms, we had big families, we had a lower income. Maybe we grew up in a poor household, or we wanted to save for retirement, so we put away the funds so we wanted to be able to travel, so we lived a more minimalistic lifestyle and we saved our money. I mean, a lot of you are already frugal, and you're here because you want to hear my take on it, and you know get new ideas or participate, and I love that. But that a lot of people are not frugal. They think that it's just going to always be okay, and eventually it's got to correct. I mean, I remember learning in maybe poli sci, or maybe it was a documentary, I can't remember. Jimmy Carter, I want to say it was. Maybe. I want to say he ran against Reagan, or I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. But I'm 99% sure it was Jimmy Carter. Had said that Americans need to stop spending so much. And this was like, 70s or 80s, 70s. And we need to correct course because we are headed in a bad financial direction. And we didn't. And now our national debt has increased. Our debt per person has increased. Not even like national debt, like people with credit card debt. Our homes are mortgaged to the hilt. A lot of people, I mean, like, I meet people who are making well over six figures. I'm talking like $200,000 a year and have $50,000 in credit card debt. How the heck do you have your house paid off, make $200,000 a year, and have $50K in credit card debt that you racked up this year? How? How did you do that? That seems really, I don't know, like that's significant. So some people are going to just keep spending and spending and spending and spending and not stop. A lot of people, they like their extras or their clothes, or they like the convenience of, takeout or whatever. And I'm not talking about I went out to eat this month. I'm talking about like people who get takeout 5 times a week. Like that's a lot. People who, you know, every morning is Dunkin' or Starbucks for, breakfast and coffee. And then in the evening, then they go out to lunch, and or maybe they take their lunch, which is a TV dinner, and then or maybe like leftovers from their takeout the night before, and then they get takeout 3 to 5 nights a week. So they really don't cook at home at all. And then when everything adjusts and things go up and people have to tighten their belts, a lot of them aren't going to know how. So be prepared to help your neighbor, because one, you just want to be nice to them, even if they were the grasshopper and weren't prepared. We don't need to be greedy and rude and mean. But if you can have as much as you want, but if you don't have enough to share and people come a knocking, eventually they're gonna, just take it. So I feel like we should all be prepared to share to some extent. And I'm thinking like, Great Depression. So the Great Depression hit the stock market first. And, people were jumping off of buildings and stuff. It was not a pretty sight. But rural America was still pretty okay. They farmed and gardened, and they did not lead lavish lifestyles. And then there was the Dust Bowl, and all that happened, and there was issues with the farms, and farmers weren't getting crops, and then there were food shortages. So I mean, it was just, all in all, it was not a pretty time. And the thing is that we are currently having issues with the stock market. We are currently having crazy weather worldwide. And I feel like we should, to some extent, start to prepare for ourselves, start to prepare for our neighbors, and start to prepare to share. Because, you don't want to see your friends and neighbors and family suffer. And 2, it's just the right thing to do. And 3, I feel like as people start losing jobs and stuff, like, each year we get less and less self-sufficient as a people. We're less able to build things and grow things and do things. And we need to learn those skills, and we need to be prepared to share surplus with our neighbors, and and share our skills with our neighbors and teach our neighbors how to also do that, and our friends and family obviously as well. But today's tip for frugal living is make sure that you are prepared enough and have enough that you have enough to share. Anyways, again, my name is Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. If you want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.